Things I worry about most at this time of the year are the machines all going to hold up? Is everybody going to be safe? Getting our work done is critical.
There's a lot of big equipment, and a lot of things could happen if you're going too fast or not thinking quite right, or if you're sleep deprived.
I'd say it's the most exciting time of the year. There's a lot of things going, so you really have to be planning ahead every day and being pretty involved and keeping things afloat.
Sometimes it's a little chaotic and it's a little crazy, and if there's breakdowns, there's some stressful issues.
Harmon is kind of all over the place. He's the jack of all trades champion.
Gina, we couldn't operate without her. Gina plays a really vital role in the teamwork of keeping the combine and everything moving.
Katie's specialty is running the strip till machine. She is getting tillage done while the rest of us are working.
Hannah's main role in the fall is really a little bit of everything. So her role is probably a little broader and depending where we need help.
Libby is really good at a couple things when she's around, especially running everything. Libby probably does the most of that, like relief work, so that others can do something else.
We introduced cover crops this year for the first time. We did that following soybeans and following sugar beets. Our cover crop trials, we didn't know what was going to happen, but they look quite good. So very, very pleased so far. We wanted to really hold the soil where we were, build a soil organic matter for the next generations.
I mean, I think that's like 95% of the reason why we do conservation practices is because there's future generations coming. So it's really critical that we are caring for our soil, not only so that it produces crops for our generation, but for the next 30 generations.
What farmers might have done 30 and 50 years ago doesn't always work in today's day and age. It's gonna pay off, and these changes we're making are gonna help our next generation.
It's a little harder, takes a little bit more management to do all this stuff, but we feel it's worthwhile so far doing that.
Sometimes you don't think as a farmer, you look at your soil, but there are tiny, tiny organisms in that soil that have to survive in order for that soil to still produce.
We need to be progressing ahead and growing more and more, but doing it in a very sustainable fashion. You know, I would say a good harvest looks like what we're seeing today. Beans will be average and sugar beets will be almost to record yields.
We were a little uncertain what this year would bring. Corn is looking above average and doing quite well, and soybeans are hanging right in there.
Strip till is better than that in corn, and in beans, 4 to 6 bushel better. We already know that because of FieldView. Without the FieldView piece, we'd have to wait and download all the information and look at it this winter.
The liveness of harvest and the instant results and yield analysis is so helpful so that we can make those decisions for next year.
Our whole farm pretty much is a research farm now because we have that kind of a tool that it's really easy right from the cab.
I really like FieldView because it's every season. It really does help you in the fall when all of the information culminates together at the end.
When I am in the office and I can have it pulled up on my phone or iPad, that kind of helps from the business perspective.
When I'm at school and I'm getting screenshots, it's nice to stay up to date like that.
So in the combine, you can't see A variety versus B variety. So it's cool to see that live time in FieldView.
We have some fertilizer trials too. I know where it was because of FieldView, real simple. I didn't know when we went through this process how it was actually going to work out at all.
He's been talking about transitioning the farm for probably 10 years, right? Like before we were even ready to probably hear and talk about those things.
The sad part would be as if they all went their own directions, and Gina and I did too. That could be a sad situation in reality.
Harmon always wants to have that legacy left behind, that the farm is in the family.
It's really encouraging to have that plan for joining in and formalizing how we're going to be a part of the farm and the LLC, you have to know, like, what does the balance sheet for the farm look like? Now we get to see the big picture of the farm.
I'd probably put this year up as being our best year we've ever had. We as a family came together to make some decisions of where we were going to go, what we were going to do, and then, implementing them things.
Farming is something that we've always known and experienced, and it's really cool that we get to share that with other people and they get to hear our story, and hopefully it's a light to other people.
I'd say it's been probably one of our best years we've had. So it's flowing by a little too fast. I'd like to kind of slow her down a little bit and enjoy the moments a little more. So I guess if I look at my journey and my purpose, it really has been to be involved in a life of service, helping people, to try to really be the best citizen that I can. I think that's the big thing. In my later years, it really has been, how do I really help the girls finish their development so that they can go on and do that too?